Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, as we get set to bring you tonight's ACHA Northeast action between the visiting Red Foxes of Marist and the homestanding Engineers of RPI. My name is Tom Reel, and you'll be watching all of this action on your home for Engineers hockey, RPI TV. Pausing momentarily now for our national anthem. Live from Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of RPI, it's ACHA hockey action as the homestanding Engineers have an overall record of 1-1 on this young season, both of those games being played on the road. Take on the Marist Red Foxes from Poughkeepsie, New York. The Red Foxes have a record of 2-0 coming into this game. The Engineers' home opener this season. Set for the first period of action. In net for the Red Foxes will be Tom Dorsey. He has played a full game this season, recorded a 46 save shutout in his only action to date this year. In net for the Engineers is Spencer Whitehead. Made 18 saves in his only outing thus far this year, gave up 3 goals in his first game action for RPI. So we're about set to drop the puck. The Engineers are wearing red with, the Engineers are wearing white with red trim. The Red Fox is wearing red with white trim. My name is Tom Reel. You're watching all of this action on RPI TV as we get underway with the home schedule for the Engineers Club team this season. Marist breaking it out of the RPI zone. The Engineers take it in the neutral zone, try to put it down ice. It's picked up by the Red Foxes to dump it down into the RPI zone. That is Farrar giving chase down in the corner. He's trying to dig the puck out. He gets it to his teammate Frank Celentano. Celentano with the puck in the corner. He gets knocked off the puck by Richardson. Now the Engineers breaking out. Sending it down the ice is Teo Camadella as the Engineers go off on the first line change of the game. Still early in this one, 19-13 left in the first period. No score here at the Fieldhouse. Yeah, getting it now. A quick shot on net is saved by Dorsey. And the Red Foxes now behind their own net as they get set up to try and break out. Pass goes up ahead for Patrick Ersling, the leading scorer on this Marist team. He dumps it back down. The Engineers will send it all the way down the ice, and that will be icing on the Engineers. Brings the puck back down into their zone. I mentioned this is the first of many games this season at the Fieldhouse for the club Engineers. Face-off won by RPI. That's dropped back by Josh Hewitt. And now the Engineers seek to get it out of their own zone. And they're able to pick it up. This is Kyle DeVault moving down ice with it now, and a shot is saved by Dorsey. That shot came from Luciano Olivieri. And now Marist goes down to collect by the near boards. They pull it out, and now here comes Ahrens. But he runs into a wall of Engineers as he crosses the blue line. And now Marist is just going to send it back down. RPI pick it up behind their own net. This is Josh Hewitt now. Okay, still trying to move the puck beyond their own net. Good forechecking there by Marist. RPI is able to get it out, but the puck's dribbling down ice. Is it going to make it? Nope, not quite. Picked up there by Thomas McGuire. And Marist is going to go the other way with it. Intercepted in the neutral zone, but picked up quickly by Marist. This is Ahrens now on the puck by the near boards, coming around the RPI net, being harassed by Daniel Egner. Now a shot in the slot, saved by the Engineers. That's a shot by Ryan DiTomaso there, a backhander in the slot, stick handled away by Spencer Whitehead. Harris sends the puck down into the zone. It's picked up behind the net by RPI's Nick Ambry. Engineers trying to get around Marist's forecheck. They've done a pretty good job of bottling RPI up here in the first 3 minutes or so, but now RPI 2-on-2 the other way. That pass by Mike McGivney goes wide, and now we've got a whistle coming up. Looks like the Engineers are going to be simply a face-off in the Marist zone. That's won by the Red Foxes. It's picked up by the Engineers before it gets out of the zone, however. That was Kevin Sheridan. He wasn't able to get any stick on it. Now Marist gets it out into the neutral zone. And here come the Red Foxes. That was Connor DiTomaso going down, allowing RPI to clear the zone. And there's a hit leveled there by DiTomaso on Teo Camadella. The Red Foxes aren't able to convert. RPI able to get the puck out of the zone. Camadella sends it down, and Engineers will change behind the play. RPI keeping the puck down in the zone, however. That is Patrick Quarry now with the puck, and now a shot from the near side is saved by Dorsey. 16:21 left to go in the first period. No score yet. Some back and forth action, however. Both teams have had opportunities. The Engineers maybe getting a little bit of the better of the offense so far. Face-off in the Marist zone is won by the Red Foxes. That's picked up by Thomas McGuire. They move it out to center. And the Engineers have it controlled by Thomas Allen. Now up to the near boards is Patrick Quarry. He's muscled off the puck, and he goes back into the corner to grab it. Goes back out to the point, and a shot by Tanner Richardson goes wide. It's picked up by Marist and sent back to center, but now Richardson drops it off along the near boards by the RPI bench. Okay, still trying to get it in. Richardson's just going to pop it down, and it'll be picked up down there by Trevor Larkin for the Red Foxes. Larkin now up the boards, can't connect, and it's kept in the zone by Kyle DeVault. Now, trying to set something up. It's picked up by Austin King. Will bring it down ice for Marist. He crosses the red line and just sends it down as they get a line change out of this. Now looking to bring it back up ice. That's sent down by Kyle DeVault. And now it's Marist starting to pick up behind their own net. Quickly moving up ice. This is Farrar, but he has it stripped. And the Engineers come back quickly the other way. This is DeVault now, trying to move the puck along the near boards. And he has Brett Rooney with him. Marist is able to intercept the puck, and now they're moving the other way with it. There's a shot by Farrar. That's saved by Spencer Whitehead. He'll hold on for the whistle. Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. 14:51 left in the first period. No score here between Marist and RPI in this home opener for the Engineers club team. Face-off in the RPI zone is won by the Engineers. One back to Josh Hewitt. And he gets it ahead for Camadella. Camadella sends it down ice. Picked up by his teammate Olivieri. Marist who ends up coming away with it. Now the Red Foxes moving down ice. There's a shot in looking for Tyler Ahrens in the corner. And now the puck back along the far boards. RPI goes to collect it, and they'll move out quickly. Puck is taken at center ice by Trevor Larkin. It's intercepted by RPI. Now trying to go the other way with it. Looks like they're offside. No, they are. No, they got the puck. It's onside. First shot there is blocked by the defender in front. Now RPI trying to get a handle on the puck. That's kept in now by Nick Ambery as RPI putting a little bit of sustained pressure on. A couple of shots, nothing getting through yet to the net. The initial shot looked like it was taken by Kevin Sheridan, I believe. It was blocked in front by the defender. Marist now getting out of the zone, and this is an opportunity for the Red Foxes now. This is Tyler Ahrens moving up ice. He gets taken down from behind. That's Nick Ambery with the defensive move. No call there by the referees. So good defensive play there by Ambery to shut down an offensive opportunity for the Red Foxes. Shot from the neutral zone by Trevor O'Shea is stick aside by Whitehead. Now the Engineers looking to break out again. That shot came back into the slot and is picked up by Ambery. He'll move it out to Sheridan. His quick shot is stopped by Dorsett. I'm not sure what happened there. The puck kind of moved unexpectedly onto an RPI stick, and almost an opportunity there. And now a shot from the outside by Tanner Richardson is blockered down. Engineers still looking for another opportunity. Shot in front is saved by Dorsey. He'll hang on to it. That shot came from Mike McGivney, who turned around in the slot. Tried to put that one home. Actually it's Kevin Yoon with that shot, coming around to the backhand to try and make that shot. See a good opportunity right there for the Engineers defensively, as Nick Ambery really saved RPI's bacon on that fast rush down the ice. 12:45 left in the first period of action. No score between RPI and Marist. Engineers now trying to keep it away from Marist, but they ended up with a kind of a mini 2-on-none, did the Red Foxes. That shot by Farrar going just wide as RPI lucky right there, turning the puck over deep within their own end. Sam Mannion now along the near boards gets it up into the slot, and the Engineers get it out. Marist is still trying to apply some pressure. That's sent back down the ice by Ralph Volpe. Again to break out. Cross ice pass from Sam Mannion. The Engineers will just dump it back in as they change behind the play. Some good forechecking going on there by the Engineers. That's Kyle DeVault throwing his body around, keeping the puck down in the Marist zone. Now Richardson gloves it down at the blue line to keep it in. That's shot across the crease. DeVault can't pick up the puck, and now Marist comes up the near boards with it. This is Aaron Mandel. Mandel still on the puck. Drops it off for Ryan DiTomaso. Lozada cannot keep it in at the blue line. The Red Foxes go back to regroup. Rosada goes over the red line, takes a shot on net that's saved by Whitehead. And the Engineers now trying to collect. That shot came from the far side. Now another shot goes off the side of the net. That was Connor DiTommaso with that shot. And now the puck goes all the way down the ice. That'll be icing on the Engineers. 11:05 left to go here in the first period. No goals yet, no penalties yet. Just end-to-end 5-on-5 action so far here at Houston Fieldhouse. Faceoff's won by Marist. That's a shot coming from the point by Trevor Larkin. There's some traffic, but it never got through. And now Richardson pulled it out. That was Adam Hennick sending it down ice off the far boards near the Marist bench. Now RPI with an opportunity coming in. So it's DeVault. DeVault gets a shot from a tight angle. It's saved by Dorsey. Now Marist collects the loose puck, and they're breaking out 3-on-2. This is Ersling coming over the line, but he's called offsides. Unlucky for the Red Foxes there, as they had numbers going forward. Certainly the least opportune time to have someone entering the zone offsides is when you've got an odd man rush going on. So the faceoff comes right outside the RPI zone, and that is won by Ersling for Marist. Engineers quickly gain possession. That's pushed on ahead by Sheridan, and will be quickly gloved down by Tom Dorsey. You mentioned that Dorsey had a 46 save shutout in his first action this season for the Red Foxes, so the Engineers certainly may have their work cut out for them if they're going to put one past him here this evening. Marist wins the face-off in their own zone. Push it out to center ice, where it's picked up by Brett Rooney. Okay, sends it down, and now Marist will look again to break out of their own end. This is Trevor O'Shea on the puck. Up along the near boards to Ersling. Ersling across now, looking for a lane. It's kind of a weak shot off. That's pretty easy for Spencer Whitehead to just move aside. And now the Engineers coming back down ice rather quickly. This is Camadella, RPI's leading scorer so far this season, getting around his man. Takes it behind the net, rubbed off the puck, and now Marist looking to quickly move the other way. This is 1-on-3. He's got a trailer with him. This is Tyler Ahrens for Marist, being around the net. Puts it up to Frank Celentano, and a shot is saved by Whitehead into the corner. And Marist can't keep it on, and they'll have to clear out the zone. 9:19 left in the first period of play. Still no score. And Marist looked like they might have been offside there, but the referee says it was all right. And they're moving with the puck now. Taken away by Zach White. It's over into the corner and around for Patrick Quarry. RPI still can't clear it out. Now a shot by Marist from a tight angle is saved. That shot came from Anthony Farrar. RPI still doing battle with Marist in the near corner. And now Farrar's going to go back and try and grab it. He's met there by Nick Ambry. Goes all the way around to the point. Shot back in by Rosada, but it'll bounce to the front of the net, and it's picked up by Whitehead. A face-off coming up in the RPI zone with 8:43 left in the first period. So far, Marist really with the better opportunities on the break, as they've had some odd man rushes going RPI's way. Engineers got lucky with an offsides call before, but they had another one on this last sequence. RPI perhaps with the better actual scoring opportunities, however, on the other end, but still no score. Shot comes in, and it's gloved down in the slot by Rusty Teller. Marist takes control. That's a nice hit laid there by Teller. And they're still on the puck. Get it up to the point. That's kept in by McGuire. RPI is able to grab control and move it down ice. That puck was moved up by Teller to, looks like Kevin Yoon. That's kept in by Richardson at the point. Teller, now a backhanded shot by Mannion, is saved to the left by Dorsey. Guy behind the Marist net. That's picked up by the Red Foxes. That's Thomas McGuire doing the dirty work behind his own net. Now Richardson comes away with it in the neutral zone. Over to Teller. And now it's brought up for the Engineers. That is McGivney. He's tries to take a shot, but it's sicked away. Good back checking there by Marist. Now Marist coming the other way. 3-on-2 if they hurry. The shot looks like it's saved by Whitehead. The shot came from Sean Blaine. Might not have got to the net, but it was still a decent opportunity there for the Red Foxes. Engineers looking to break out. That's Richardson still out there. He moves it on for Olivieri. Moves it into the RPI zone. And it's brought back out. Dribbling down ice, was picked up there before icing by Josh Hewitt. Marist does battle in the corner. This is Alex Rizzo with Hewitt. Comes back along the far boards. Pass into the slot is picked off by Olivieri. He'll take it up ice by himself. And he takes a shot from a tight angle. A save by Dorsey. The puck is knocked off its moorings. Looked like Adam Hennick was the one down there on the far side. This is Olivieri. Not a bad shot to take. It's quite a tough angle, but the goaltender saw it pretty much all the way. And then that's Hennick putting his man into the net. The faceoff comes outside the Marist zone. Picked up by the Red Foxes. Wire trying to poke it out and gets it up. And it's sticked away by Josh Hewitt. Now the Engineers 3-on-2 with a shot. That's saved away by Dorsey. That shot came from Adam Hennick. And now here comes Marist 3-on-2. Marist coming along the side. That's saved. It looks like right between the pads of Whitehead. Nice move on the near boards by Patrick Ursling. Had two guys with him on a 3-on-2. Took it in all the way. He is their leading scorer in the first two games this season. Looks like Whitehead might have kept that between his pads. You see the faceoff coming up in the RPI zone with 6:18 left in the first period. No score, but both teams have had their opportunities to put it in the net. Engineers win the faceoff. And sent along the far boards, but not out of the zone as Marist does a good job of playing a little bit of offensive D there. Good forechecking. Dribbled back into the zone by Thomas McGuire. RPI now sending it all the way back down the ice. Icing's waved off though, so Marist will have to go back and get it. RPI now with an opportunity and a shot there by Camadella. Just missed the net. Now another shot just trickles wide by Nick Ambry. That was wide by inches. Another good opportunity there for the Engineers. Really creating something out of nothing. Going after that loose puck down in the Marist zone. Now the Engineers breaking out again. Here comes Camadella. Taking a shot just over the blue line that Dorsey tips away, but not too far for him to grab it and scoop it right into his mitt for a face-off coming up in his zone. Dorsey certainly has been called on here for the Red Foxes, and he has answered the call. We remain scoreless with a little bit under 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first period. Now Marist coming the other way with it, and it is Patrick Mullen getting hauled down directly in front of Whitehead. That might have saved a goal for the Engineers there as Marist moved quickly down the ice. But it's going to be a hooking call against RPI, and we will see special teams here for the first time this evening as Rusty Teller is sent off for probably what could be considered a goal-saving hooking call, but it'll put RPI down a player for the next 2 minutes with 5:15 left in the first period. Marist wins the faceoff. Goes back to the point for Ursling. Ursling pushes it down on the far board, or on the near boards, I should say. That puck just trickles in. It looks like it was initially shot by Brett Kaiser. It goes into the corner, but the Engineers clear it out. 1:40 left on the RPI penalty as Marist goes behind their own net to set up for their next burst down ice. That's going to go all the way down there. That almost could have been icing, I suppose, but Whitehead pushes it back around as Marist was chasing the puck. Red Foxes gain control near the far boards. That is Mullen in the corner, gets it up to the point. Shot by O'Shea goes wide. Now Ersling from the point. That's a save by Whitehead right into his glove. Nice save there by Spencer Whitehead as the shot by the Red Foxes scoring leader Ersling up from the blue line. He's usually a forward, but he's playing back here on the power play. So face-off coming up to the right of Spencer Whitehead as the Engineers about halfway through this penalty kill. They win the face-off and push it out of the zone. There's Ersling. He's being harassed by Kevin Yoon. Marist gains his own, now pushing forward with the puck is Ahrens. Ahrens back up to the point. Now Ahrens again takes a shot. That goes just wide. He might have caught somebody in front. And it goes back into the corner for Marist to pick up. And that was Farrar. Now cycles it down. Back to O'Shea. Now Farrar taking the shot. Excuse me, that was Ahrens taking the shot from the far, near the far boards. Marist still keeping it in the zone. As the Engineers penalty kill now. It's been out there probably a good 30 seconds. They might be getting a little tired with all this puck movement. Marist cycles back around to the far board. That was Ryan DiTomaso taking that shot wide. The Red Fox is still keeping in the zone, however. Frank Celentano circles around. And now it's back up to the point for O'Shea. O'Shea pushes it down for Celentano. Celentano on the near boards. Behind the RPI net. The penalty expires. RPI kills off the power play, but they still have to deal with the puck in the zone as Marist has kept the zone here for a good minute or so. And that back move by Celentano goes nowhere. Slips through 4 people to the far boards. And then Rosada gets decked by his own player, looked like. Although they're going to get an engineer for this. It's a slashing call against RPI. So right after the penalty expires, RPI back in the penalty box on a slashing call against Adam Hennick. I'm going to have to see this replay again. I thought the Marist player was taken out by his own guy accidentally. But regardless, shortly after a successful penalty kill, with 2:48 left to go in the first period, RPI back on the penalty kill already. They're 1 for 1 thus far this evening. Marist certainly did a good job of keeping the puck in the zone during their first power play. We'll have to see if that pays off for them here as RPI doing battle along the far boards. That's going to be whistled. I guess I'm going to call that dead. Looks like it was caught in Olivieri's sweater. Certainly one way of killing off some penalty time, I suppose, but the face-off still in the RPI zone. One back by Olivieri for the Engineers. And they're able to get it out of the zone. That is picked up along the near boards by Patrick Mullen. Now Marist looking to pinch in a little bit. This is Nicholas Rudzewick. Gathers it, brings it out of the zone. DeVault is going to try and move down ice with it. Now he's putting on a little penalty kill forecheck pressure there. Marist now moving the puck up into the RPI zone. That's picked off by Olivieri. He sends it out, but it ends up in the RPI bench. And we'll see the face-off coming up back in the RPI zone. So an unlucky move there for RPI to have the puck end up in their own bench. 56 seconds left on the penalty to Hennick. And face-off in the RPI zone is won by Marist. Richardson gets taken down in the near corner. Another hit laid on Mike McGivney. Now Marist still keeping the puck in the zone. Then it's pushed out. Some good work there by McGivney to get that out. Now RPI with the puck in their own zone. Notice a little pitch and catch there just to push it out, but it doesn't go very far. Marist able to quickly clear the zone bring it back in with 23 seconds left on the man advantage. That is Rosado with it now, and a shot from the point by McGuire. That goes wide. And now we're going to see another penalty coming up on the Engineers here. So it looks like Ambry down low was doing battle with his man. He got put down too. We'll have to see if they're going to call both of these. So there are two meandering over to the penalty box area. The referee says these will be offsetting penalties. Anthony Farrar, junior forward from Poughkeepsie, New York. So he's basically going to school in his hometown. He gets a call for roughing. And Ambry also heading off for the Engineers. So with the offsetting penalties, it looks like we will be 5-on-4 for the next 9 seconds. We're in the final minute of play here in the first period between Marist and RPI. No score, with 56.7 seconds left on the game clock. You'll see here, that's a pretty obvious penalty there by Embry, but they end up getting the retaliation as well. He really put Farrar down in a bad spot, but Farrar retaliated, and that's why Marist is not currently on a 9-second two-man advantage. So at 5-on-4, we see the face-off coming up in the RPI zone. Ursling taking for Marist. That's won by Ursling. The Red Foxes have the opportunity to score on the power play here if they move quickly. A shot saved by Whitehead. He quickly dives on it to hold on. I think that initial shot came from up near the point. Thomas McGuire. The penalty is expired. The puck got through traffic. Whitehead quickly sticks it into his own glove for the whistle. RPI now behind their own net. They're still trying to get it out here as Marist has had all the pressure here in the last 5 minutes, helped out by the power play they've had. Now a shot by Connor DiTomaso in the slot. That's picked up by Whitehead. He's had to be sharp here as the Engineers back on their heels a little bit. Back to 5-a-side with 31.3 seconds remaining in the first period. Engineers win the face-off. Still can't get it out of the zone as Marist continues to apply some pressure. Okay, still can't get it out, and a shot by Ursling goes wide. Engineers finally able to get it out of the zone, but once again ends up out of play. They won't be able to change. I believe the face-off still remaining down in the RPI zone. This has been probably a good minute and a half at least that RPI has been able to get it out of their, unable to get it out of their own zone. 14.7 seconds left in the first period. Marist looking to finish off this pressure that they've been applying. They win the face-off for one lost opportunity here in the first. Push it into the corner. It's picked up by the Engineers. RPI moves it out, finally getting out of the zone. This is trickling down. Are they going to be icing before the end of the period? It will not. So that ends the first period of play here at Houston Fieldhouse. Some back and forth action for the first 15 minutes or so, but nothing going through just yet for either of these sides. The Engineers are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Marist with some decent opportunities, especially on their second power play opportunity, but unable to put anything through. And so we will head to the second period of this game with a scoreless tie. My name is Tom Reel. You're watching Engineers Club Hockey here on RPI TV. RPI TV. Welcome back to Houston Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, as we get set to bring you the second period of action between the RPI Engineers and the Marist Red Foxes here in ACHA Northeast action. My name is Tom Reel. Your score after one period of play is RPI 0 and Marist 0. Before we get started, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for RPI TV and all the club-related activities of the Institute, including RPI TV's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. As a reminder, you can catch us on the World Wide Web, www.rpitv.org. Engineers now moving from left to right. See if I can get this right this time. They are in the white uniforms with red trim. Marist is in the red uniforms with white trim. They look like pretty much polar opposites of each other. The Engineers with the black helmets, Marist with the white helmets. Get set. And the second period is underway. Just a reminder, the Engineers and Red Foxes both with one player in the penalty box to start this period, but we are 5 aside as we get underway. Marist spent probably the last 5 minutes or so down in the RPI end in the end of the first period, but they weren't able to get into the show for it, and now the Red Foxes still controlling the puck down in the RPI zone. It's almost like the first period never ended. Shot from the outside gets sticked away by Olivieri. Now a shot coming in, fluttering puck is gloved down by Whitehead. He'll get the stop for the face-off to his left, I believe. Or maybe it'll be his right. Well, here it comes. 19:24 left here in the second period. No score. Marist is a beneficiary of a pair of power plays late in that first period. They got some decent scoring opportunities, but weren't able to put anything in the net. They seem to have started off this second period with a little more pressure in the Engineers zone. Engineers win that face-off, but they're unable to really move the puck even past the face-off dots. They'll be skied out by Richardson. That ends up in the Marist bench, so that puck's going to come back inside the RPI zone. And the Engineers just can't seem to get it out of play, or I should say get it out of the zone, to say nothing of getting any offensive pressure here to start the second period. Faced off won by RPI, and they still unable to really get a good handle on it. And it's finally moved out of the zone by Zach White. And coming the other way, that shot fluttered just wide by Ryan Strager. Keeping it into the zone momentarily is Josh Hewitt, but squirts out. Engineers have to go back after it. That allows Marist to get it back down ice. Picked up behind the net by Ersling. And now Aaron's coming around with it. Tyler Aaron's tried to pass it in front for Thomas McGuire. I'm sorry, not McGuire. That was Connor DiTomaso. Ends up going wide. RPI getting it out of the zone. Now giving chase are the Engineers. That was Kevin Sheridan. It was picked up instead by Tom Dorsey. Swings it around. Now O'Shea from Marist. Puts it up to Aarons along the near boards. And now this is McGuire. It's a good forecheck and pressure by the Engineers. Ends up with the puck on RPI stick. That's put wide by Patrick Quarry. He'll go after the puck himself. Kept in at the point by Rusty Teller. Say along the far board. RPI finally getting some offensive pressure. Teller across for Richardson. Richardson tries to poke it forward for Quarry. Now back to Richardson. Richardson takes a shot. Is stopped in front by Ersling. And the puck ends up going over into the far boards. Now Marist taking the puck in the near corner. That's McGuire trying to poke it out. Richardson tries to keep it in, but he can't. And Tanner will go back to grab control. D-to-D pass behind the RPI net to Richardson. Now up for Tim Faulkner. Faulkner pushes it forward. Picked up near the board by Quarry. He tries to just flick it in front, but it's grabbed by Dorsey. We'll have the face-off coming up in the Marist zone. RPI finally getting a little bit of offensive pressure here in the last minute or so. see, Corey was really all alone back there as the puck was sent down ice by Faulkner. That gives him the opportunity to quickly poke it as he had a defender coming from the other side of the net. Here's keep it in the zone. That is Ambry, fresh out of the penalty box. Hit opportunity there by Marist. Ended up coming up with nothing but the boards. But the puck ultimately ends up out of the net, out of the zone anyway. And RPI is just going to send it down ice. That is Ambry sending it down. Picked up by the Red Foxes. Aaron Mandel on the far boards. Can't squirt it out of the zone. Good forechecking there by the Engineers. Now picked up by the Engineers and a shot. Looks like that was... The shot came from behind the net originally. The pass was looking for Zach White, I believe. Mannion in front, I'm sorry. Like he ever got a piece of it. Dorsey ended up collecting it instead. The face-off stays in the Marist zone. RPI wins the face-off. Squared it back out in front. Now RPI with it in the slot. Shot is saved by Dorsey. Puck is loose. The Marist defender didn't know where it was. It still ends up on the RPI stick. Now another shot that just goes up Dorsey's shoulder into the corner. That was a shot by Olivieri for RPI. Marist now able to get it out. He loses his stick in the process. That is Aaron's down there on the far boards. He tried to bring it in almost 1-on-2, almost ended up with a breakaway, but he lost his stick. And now RPI moving 2-on-2 the other way with the puck. Dropped off for Olivieri in the slot. He can't get a shot off. Trailers catch up. And now Marist breaking back the other way. This is Ursling. 2-on-2. Picked up in the slot, backhanded by Connor DiTomaso. And a save made by Whitehead. 15:35 left to go in the first period. Still no score, but some good end-to-end action developing here in the second period. Probably some of the best scoring opportunities you've seen for either team here in the last 90 seconds or so. Face-off won by Marist, shot from the point. And that is saved by Whitehead over to the corner. That was Trevor Larkin taking a shot from the blue line. And Marist collecting, looking to move back down ice once more. Tied up along the RPI bench. Goes out to Larkin. Larkin will send it down ice. RPI giving chase. It's Josh Hewitt behind his own net. And a quick turnaround shot by Brett Kaiser goes wide. There's keeping it in along the near boards. That was Thomas McGuire at the blue line. That's a heavy hit there, laid out by Zach White. Allows the Engineers to break out the other way. That brings it behind the Marist net. That shot goes wide by Tim Faulkner. And now the puck will just drizzle in on net after bouncing off the far boards, and it's picked up by Dorsey for the faceoff. 14:31 left in the second period. Still no score. We're seeing a little bit more open play, some more end-to-end action here in the second period. The end of the first period pretty much dominated by Marist thanks to 2 power play opportunities back-to-back. And they also had some offensive dominance early here in the second period. Now we've got a penalty behind the play. It's going to be a tripping call against Marist. That is Patrick Mullen skating off for the Red Foxes. So we'll see the RPI man advantage here for the first time this evening, with 14:25 left in the second period. Tripping call. Engineers win the faceoff. Still trying to keep control of the puck, however, and is knocked away by Rosada. He gets it out of the zone. Yeah, looking to set back up. This is Richardson. Dropping it off for Rusty Teller. Now, looks like Faulkner fell down. Ended up giving it away to Marist, but RPI quickly back on the puck. This is Connor Blake coming forward. Up it into the zone. Picked up behind the Marist net by Patrick Quarry. Now Faulkner up to the blue line for Teller. Now Faulkner takes a shot right on the number, is saved. And it's the putback attempt by Quarry is also saved away. Now Faulkner looking for Quarry behind the net. Quarry loses a handle on the puck and it's picked up by Marist. Not out, however, as Teller keeps it in. Faulkner now back to Teller. Faulkner along the near boards. Teller at the blue line. Sends it down ice for Quarry. Now this is Connor Blake. Back up for Teller. Teller takes a shot from the point. Deflects in front and goes just to the side. It looks like Patrick Quarry was looking to tip that one in. Engineers still keeping control of the zone here as they're laying the pressure on during the power play. Teller keeps it in once again. Marist just can't clear the zone. Richardson sends it back along the near boards for Blake. Now Blake leaves it for Teller. Teller up for Sam Mannion as the Engineers have moved some of their forwards behind the play. Faulkner from Mannion. Now back up to Teller. His shot is blocked in front. Now Marist is finally going to get this out of the zone. They spend most of that power play on the penalty kill there, but the Engineers unable to capitalize. So RPI has one rush left with about 5 seconds left on the man advantage. They'll send it down, and that'll do it for RPI's first power play of the game. They are 0 for 1 on the man advantage. They are, however, 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. That looked like it was maybe kept. Nope. As Daniel Egner along the blue line looked like he was trying to keep it in, but the referee said it came out. RPI has to get onside, and they do. Push the puck back down into the Marist zone now. And now a penalty coming up on the Engineers. This is going to be against Kevin Yoon. You're going to call an elbow on a hit behind the Marist net. Not a good penalty for the Engineers to take as they were trying to set up possession down in the Marist zone. Yoon called for the elbow as the Marist player was on his way over towards the puck. And so Marist now going on their third power play of the game. That was Trevor Larkin, who was the recipient of the elbow. RPI back on the penalty kill. They're 2 for 2 so far this evening. A little bit under 12 minutes left to play here in the second period. Shot from the point by Ersling is saved by Whitehead. Now Ersling with it again at the point. He's kind of the quarterback for the Red Foxes on the power play. Forward move back to the defensive point. Another shot by Ersling goes just wide, bounces in front. The Engineers have to play it back to the far boards. Marist comes away with it again. Here's Ersling across for O'Shea. O'Shea whiffs on his shot. And RPI goes after the puck instead, and they're able to get it out. Now one-on-one going the other way with it is DeVault. Can't get around his man, just drops the puck off. He'll take it into the corner and kill a little bit more time off of this power play, which has a little bit over a minute left on it. Puck squirts that back out to the neutral zone. And Strager tries to put it back down ice, ends up out of play. And the face-off will be at center ice. Exactly 1 minute left on the penalty to Yoon. The Engineers on the penalty kill for the third time this evening. Still have no score here from Houston Fieldhouse in the second period, with 10:59 left to play here in the middle stanza. This is DeVault taking the face-off against Celentano, won by the Red Foxes. It's back for Rosada, and now McGuire moving the puck up ice. Stolen right at the red line by DeVault. He'll just whip it back down as Marist sets up once more. 43 seconds left on their power play. Pass ahead is not connected, as that was Ryan DiTomaso unable to connect with that one. RPI scoops up, sends it right back down. Sometimes that's just the easiest way to do it on the penalty kill, is to take advantage of your opponent's errant passes. Marist now joining the RPI zone for the first time in about 45 seconds or so. This is Rosada behind the RPI net. D-man bringing it all the way around the ice. He drops it off for Celentano. Now this is Ryan DiTomaso. Gets it up. And then that shot by McGuire is blocked in front. And the errant pass, or I should say kind of shot, I suppose, is gloved down by Whitehead. Face-off will come up in the RPI zone, but the penalty has expired. RPI still perfect on the penalty kill this evening. They are 3 for 3. We're just over halfway through this game and still looking for the first goal, as both sides have had their opportunities here in the second period, but nobody has hit pay dirt quite yet. Here come the Engineers, 2-on-1 into the zone. That is Sam Mannion moving around his man. Now back up to the blue line. That's a shot, goes just wide by Richardson. Tanner Richardson putting that just to the right of the net. That is Mannion getting taken down by behind the Marist net. So play away from the puck. RPI still keeping it in with Tanner Richardson at the far board. Gets it to Mannion behind the net. Tries to move it around his man, but can't. And Volpe just gets absolutely laid out. But he gets the puck up, and Marist is able to move it out of the zone. It's collected by Teller. Pushes it ahead for Mannion, but he can't get it far enough down ice to get the long change done here in the second period. Now that puck's going to head all the way down ice, and that will be icing on the Marist Red Foxes. 8:53 left here in the second period. No score thus far. RPI appearing in their third game so far this season, as are the Red Foxes. Marist is 2-0. The Engineers were 1-1 on the short road trip that they took to start this season. Face off won by Marist. Take it out into the neutral zone, try to move it forward. That is wildly shot on net there by the Red Foxes. That was Aaron Mandel kind of just whipping it as he was heading to the bench. Saved by Whitehead, and the face-off ends up in the RPI zone. So a lucky turn of events there for the Red Foxes as they will get ready to take the face-off in their attacking zone. Won by the Engineers, however. They get it back to Nick Embry. Sent it back behind his own net. And now Camadella trying to move it forward. Good forechecking again by Marist. They've kept RPI down in their own end when they've had to be. And they've had to keep them down there at least. Engineers get it out. And Marist is just going to backhand it down into the net, or into the zone, and it'll be picked up by Nick Embry. King grabs it along the near boards and just kind of sends it down. Now Marist looking to get out from behind the net. It's intercepted by Zach White, who sends it out of the zone. Gloved down to center ice by Trevor O'Shea. They're going to call this icing? No, a penalty coming up. A slashing call against the Engineers. RPI playing with fire when it comes to penalties. A slashing call on Zach White. Puts Marist back on the man advantage. They're 0 for 3 thus far this evening. But they certainly look like they have the potential to score at any given moment. As Patrick Ersling out there on the point for the Red Foxes, who sets up as their quarterback here on the power play. Guy with possession, but still unable to move the puck past the face-off dots. And it's picked up by Marist instead. This is Kaiser behind his own net. And he's rubbed off the puck by Josh Hewitt. RPI still can't get it out of the zone. And it's picked up again by Kaiser. Back up for Ersling. Now O'Shea moves it into the slot, but nobody's home. It's picked up by Hewitt. He'll try to move it out, still can't get it. And Marist retains possession. Ersling, the far boards, the shot in front goes off a Marist player. O'Shea tried to get to it, but a good back check by RPI keeps him from getting anything on the puck, and the Engineers send the puck all the way down the ice. Some good penalty killing there by RPI, but a golden opportunity for the Red Foxes to break a board. Now here comes Marist again. That's Ersling putting it into the slot. It looks like they got a shot off. RPI ends up with the puck, and now they have to maneuver around. Glove down at the point, and a shot comes in, saved by Whitehead. So RPI still can't get it out of the zone. Marist doing a good job of holding, but not right there. As RPI whips it down ice, they can get themselves another line change here on the penalty kill with 38 seconds left on the penalty to White. And here comes Marist again. Here's Ersling doing a nice pass by Ersling and a nice shot by Ryan DiTomaso. Glove down by Whitehead, who moved really well through that crease to track that pass, be right where he needed to be for that shot. Ersling has proven pretty dangerous here on the power play, but he was able to move. Whitehead was able to move just to be right in the perfect spot, and a good move by Rusty Teller to block one of the shooting lanes as well. 27 seconds left on the power play. Marist with another opportunity in the RPI zone. That wins the faceoff. Still can't get it out of the zone, however. Celentano intercepts the clearance opportunity. And now Marist setting up again along the far boards. That is Ryan DiTomaso. Just had that shot on goal for the Red Foxes. Leaves it for Farrar. Farrar back to DiTomaso. DiTomaso looking for Farrar in the front. Squirts through everyone. Marist collects it, however. Red Fox is still holding it in. Power play is over. Back to 5-a-side here at the Fieldhouse. But just like that, another penalty being called. I think this one's going to be on Marist. A tripping call is coming up against the Red Foxes. And it's Ryan DiTomaso going off on this one. A decent opportunity there goes by the wayside as DiTomaso gets rung up for a trip just as the penalty was expiring. And it was really a needless one too, as his team had just collected the puck and were coming around the net for an opportunity to score. Instead, the faceoff ends up down in the Marist zone. The Engineers are 0 for 1 so far on the power play tonight. And they get their opportunity after winning the faceoff here. Here's a shot, goes just wide by Josh Hewitt. Good hard shot from the top of the faceoff circle. Puck squirts loose, and now a shorthanded opportunity for Marist the other way. Gets broken up by Hewitt, and now RPI quickly back the other way with it. This is Adam Hennick into the corner. Shot is saved just along the side of the net by Dorsey. Now the Engineers pinching in. We got their opportunity. A shot from just behind the net by DeVault is saved, and now a shot by Nick Ambry goes off a leg and into the near corner. Engineers and Red Foxes doing battle there down in the corner. 5 minutes left in the second period. Still no score here at Houston Fieldhouse. RPI on the power play. Cycled down for Olivieri on the boards. He kind of spins around, maintains control of the puck. Now Olivieri in the corner. Looking to move it. He sends it across the slot. Shot from the far face-off circle. That is Camadella. Looks like it was saved by Dorsey. And that errant pass right there intended for Josh Hewitt ends up out of the zone. 46 seconds left on the RPI power play. This is some of their best opportunities they've had of this game. Zach Whittle on the near boards. Shoots it in, saved by Dorsey. Follow-up shot goes through the crease and into the far corner. Another shot from the outside. That was Ambry. Goes just wide. As RPI is looking to turn this into a shooting gallery now. That shot from the point was saved by Dorsey. Got through traffic. That shot coming from Hewitt. And now Marist will get it out of the zone, and giving chase of it is Ambry. RPI now coming into the zone 3-on-2, but are they offsides? Or is there a penalty behind the play? Engineers had a quick break, but it looks like they're going to be calling a cross-checking penalty? Or a roughing penalty, it looks like. Roughing call against Ambry, but now the Marist box is open. They're going to get Farrar too. These two did battle earlier, late in the first period. They were both sent off for roughing, and now it looks like they're both getting the same treatment again. So 13 seconds left on the original penalty to DiTomaso. If these are offsetting, we'll see 13 seconds of 5-on-4. It does look like it's going to be the case. So 13 more seconds for the Engineers to try and get something out of this power play, which has been rather productive, but still nothing on the score sheet for either of these teams. Engineers win the faceoff. Now Sheridan on the near boards. Gets up for Camadella. Camadella takes a shot, saved, follows the puck around, and Dorsey ends up falling down on it. Power play is over. We've got a whistle. I believe basically the whistle is for Dorsey covering the puck. There's also a little bit of a scrum afterwards. The power play, or I should say the face-off, is going to remain in the Marist zone with 3:44 left in the second period. Let's do this all over again. We have Amory and Farrar in the box for RPI and Marist respectively, but we are skating five-a-side. Down ice, goes into the glove of Spencer Whitehead, and the face-off will come up in the RPI zone. Both teams certainly with glorious opportunities to score, especially here in a very back-and-forth second period. But with 3:34 left in the middle frame, we are still scoreless here at Houston Fieldhouse as we kick off the opening game, or I should say the opening home game of the RPI ACHA schedule. RPI with the puck now down in the Marist zone. That is Zach White behind the net trying to give chase. Now an opportunity down by the front, and he scores! Teo Camadella collecting the loose puck just to the left of Tom Dorsey. And the Engineers take a 1-0 lead with 3:09 left to play in the second period. Sometimes it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. That initial shot looked like it came from Kevin Sheridan. And Teo Camadella right there on the back door to stick it home. And RPI leads the first lead of the evening, 1-0 to the Engineers. Engineers back down ice, looking for some more. And it's Marist breaking out the other way. Intercepted in the neutral zone by Rusty Teller. Taken over by Marist. That is McGuire just sending it down ice. Richardson, a D-to-D pass to Teller. Back to Richardson behind his own net. Oh, Whitehead almost tripping over a divot there. I think the Engineers had the puck. Brought backwards by Patrick Quarry as they look to move through the neutral zone to the Engineers. Now Teller has his pass swatted away. It's brought back the other way by Ersling. Comes Ersling 2-on-1 now. He'll take the shot alone. That goes high and wide. He had Connor DiTomaso with him. Did not choose to send it to him. Now a shot by Marist goes off to the side after saved by Whitehead. Another shot is saved by Whitehead. That shot by Connor DiTomaso. The initial shot was a pretty rough shot by Tyler Ahrens coming in along the far boards. But Whitehead still up to the task. He's preserving RPI's brand new 1-0 lead here late in the second period. Okay, wins the ensuing face-off. Strager will move it behind his own net. That was sent up for Kevin Yoon. That'll end up all the way down the ice. Yoon giving chase. No icing as he flicked it on from the red line. And Marist looking to head back the other way. A good hit by Sam Mannion against Brett Kaiser. Now Mannion on the forecheck, keeping it in. Drops it behind the net, looking for Mike McGivney. He's still laying that pressure behind the Marist net. And now the Red Foxes will get it out of there. Patrick Cullen trying to send it back up ice. He sends it on net. And Whitehead will simply glove that down for the whistle. 1:12 left in the second period. RPI has taken a 1-0 lead in this game. They're 0 for 2 on the power play, but they had some good opportunities on that power play leading up to the goal by Teo Camadella. Puck shot in by Marist, goes behind the net. The Engineers will just lift it right out. Avoids having it land on their own bench. And now they take it into the zone with Olivieri down in the corner. And move the puck past the defender, but it's stripped by Nick Madonna of the Red Foxes. Now Marist coming the other way with it. That shot is saved by Whitehead. That shot by Patrick Ersling. Marist in the corner. Coming away with it is Ersling behind the net. Ersling moving around, gets it up And it's shot by McGuire. Glove save by Whitehead. We'll see a face-off coming up with 29.7 seconds left in the second period. Whitehead has been called on to make some decent saves. That was a shot that was probably going wide by McGuire, but Whitehead still getting a glove on it. As RPI sends the puck down ice. It's picked up by Marist, but it's picked off in the neutral zone by the Engineers. They'll curl around and wait to get onside. Send it back down, giving chase to Kevin Sheridan. He gets run into by Trevor Larkin. And now the Engineers pushing forward. Have it intercepted. Now 2-on-1 for Marist if they hurry. There's a shot by Earthling that goes just wide. And that'll do it for the second period. So a goal by Teo Camadella shortly after the Engineers ended a power play opportunity without being able to put the puck in the net. Gives them the 1-0 lead heading into the third period. Some good back and forth action throughout this game. I'd say the only real time that either one of these teams has had some sustained control was during the end of the first period and during the beginning of the second period, where Marist was really applying the pressure, but the Engineer defense came through. Spencer Whitehead's been called on quite frequently to make some decent saves, and he's kept his team in, not only in it, but kept Marist off the score sheet long enough for the Engineers to record the first game goal of this game. And the score after 2 periods of play here at Houston Fieldhouse is RPI 1 and Marist 0. My name is Tom Reel, and you're watching all of this on your home for Engineers Hockey, RPI TV. And we welcome you back inside the Houston Fieldhouse as we get set to bring you the third period of action between the RPI Engineers and the Marist Red Foxes. My name is Tom Reel, and you're watching all of this on your home for Engineers Hockey, RPI TV. Before we get started, I'd like to be sure to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for RPI TV and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including RPI TV's coverage of RPI sports. Just a reminder, RPI TV is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI, I'm sorry, that's my other job. www.rpitv.org. You can catch RPI TV's broadcasts of RPI sporting events such as this one. The varsity Engineers will be here at the Fieldhouse tomorrow night as they kick off their 2014-2015 season with an exhibition game against the Prince Edward Island Panthers. The puck drop for that game is 7 o'clock p.m. That'll be on RPI TV and be broadcast live on WRPI with a start time of about 6:45 p.m. Meanwhile, we are underway here in the third period. RPI has a 1-0 lead over the visiting Marist Red Foxes. RPI in white, Marist in red, and RPI now shooting from right to left across your television screen. Engineers moving the puck down into the Marist zone. They will have the first offensive opportunity of this third period. This is Teller moving the puck down behind the Marist net. It's picked up there by the Red Foxes. There's Larkin moving it down ice. Along the blue line, a pass coming from Farrar goes nowhere, and the Engineers will give chase behind their own net. Default along the near boards. Up in the neutral zone by Ursling for Marist. Now a backhanded shot by Tyler Ahrens goes just wide, actually pushed aside there by Spencer Whitehead, who is currently pitching a shutout so far for the Engineers. He's kept the Red Foxes off the board. He's helped maintain RPI's 1-0 lead, which they picked up on a goal by Teo Camadella late in the second period. Now Marist with a shot from the blue line is blockered away by Whitehead. That shot was by Thomas McGuire, who's been busy from back there for the Red Foxes. Whitehead will cover the puck, and we'll see the face-off coming up in the RPI zone. Second period is over between the North Dakota women's hockey team and the RPI Engineers out in Grand Forks. North Dakota holding a 1-0 lead over RPI. Shots are 10-5 in favor of North Dakota. Meanwhile, here at the Fieldhouse, RPI wins the face-off in their own zone, and they're looking to move it up ice. Move through the neutral zone. Nice, that's tapped back out by McGuire. And now here comes Camadella, who takes a nifty shot and scores. Loses his stick in the process. That's his second goal of the game, and the Engineers have a 2-0 lead. Just like that. Kind of an opportunistic shot there by Camadella. Was not really a high percentage shot, but it fooled Tom Dorsey. And with 18:02 left in the third period, RPI takes a 2-0 lead on Teo Camadella's second goal of the game. Certainly putting RPI in a pretty good position going forward. That was, I wouldn't say it was against the flow of play, but Marist had the puck for much of the opening parts of this third period. Teo Camadella, with his team changing behind the play, just kind of lifts a shot, gets it past Dorsey to give RPI a 2-0 lead. Now another opportunity there for RPI as they steal the puck away down low, but they immediately lose the handle on it. Now Marist moving up into the RPI zone themselves. That is Mullen. And now Mandel doing battle behind the RPI net. Gets the puck out in front, and Whitehead just squeezes up against that post. Gets a face-off to his left. 17-14 left in the third period. Here's that nice play by Camadella. Just whips it around his defender. That was O'Shea. Looked like Dorsey was not ready for that shot to come to his right, and it just found the net. That's all you need, as RPI now with a 2-0 lead on Marist on the back of 2 goals by Teo Camadella. Engineers just going to send that one down ice and change behind the play. Now Marist, they're going to be looking to do something here, and they're now trailing by 2 in a game where goals have been very hard to come by. We didn't get the first one until nearly 40 minutes into this one. Now that shot just kind of ends up being weak by Ryan DiTomaso. Whitehead moves it aside, but these are always dangerous for goaltenders. You want those pucks to be coming in a little bit quicker than that one. You never know exactly what way they're going to go. As RPI gets that one cleared out, and it's going to go down ice, and Marist collects, and they'll look for an early rush. That is Meyer trying to connect on the pass to Farrar, but that ends up going all the way down ice. That's icing on Marist, and that'll head all the way back down the ice. Marist 2-0 on the season. They come into this game with wins over Wagner and Sacred Heart. The Engineers were 1-1 on their journey to New Jersey last weekend. They lost their opening game against Ryder and beat the College of New Jersey, so they're 1-1 heading into this game, which is their home opener. Kevin Yoon circling around by the far boards, drops it off for Mike McGivney. Now back to McGivney. McGivney takes a shot. Yoon is down there looking for the rebound, but he can't grab it. And Marist will collect. Can't get it out of the zone, though. And now the Red Foxes give it up again. That's looked like a pass opportunity there for Mannion, but he couldn't get it through his defender, so he just took a shot that ends up being saved. Now a shot from the point by Richardson. It's gloved down by Dorsey. Marist already trailing 2-0. Can't afford to be giving the Engineers the puck within their defensive zone. And they did that twice just there. The face-off coming up to the right of Dorsey, won by the Red Foxes. Taken in the corner by O'Shea, who is gone around by Camidella on that second goal. And now Duvall gets taken down out of the play. And Marist looking to break the other way, but the pass is too far ahead. And it's collected by Richardson and sent back down the ice with 15:10 left here in the third period. Move 2-on-2 for Marist if they can set it up correctly. That pass was looking for Ertling. Did not connect and ended up going through. RPI now with the puck. Marist collects along the near boards, and that shot by Tyler Ahrens was high over the net. Ends up bouncing in front, and it's in the back of the net. That ends the shutout bid for Spencer Whitehead. And cuts the lead in half for the Engineers. RPI now up 2-1 in this game. You can see exactly where that bounced to from over the net. That's going to end up just right back on the stick of Patrick Ersling. He's their top scorer. Sometimes those ones are dangerous that go above the net because the goaltender doesn't know where it's going to bounce to, and ended up bouncing to the wrong spot, and Whitehead just was not in a good place to collect it. So Marist gets themselves right back into this game. Goal by Ersling makes it 2-1. Now RPI cutting around. Ended up having kind of a mini break after they got past the defender. But Dorsey with the save. Now Marist trying to maneuver themselves around to get out of the zone. And a whistle on the play. It looks like the net came loose. Dorsey lost his glove. That's generally a reason for blowing the whistle. Face-off is going to stay in the Marist zone. Both these teams getting goals strictly from their top scorers, as Ersling has the goal for Marist. RPI with 2 goals by center Teo Camidella. He is on the ice right now. It's won that face-off for the Engineers, but they couldn't do anything with it. Now a 2-on-1 was developing, but the pass over to Ahrens was errant. Sticked back over into the far boards. RPI giving chase. That was close. Almost a interference move there by Hewitt, but the puck ends up on the stick of Larkin, who sends it in. Puck was going wide, but Whitehead just groups it into his glove anyway, and we'll have the face-off coming up in the RPI zone. Sometimes after you give up a goal, you want to just kind of grab that puck at least once just to get yourself back in the groove. With just under 14 minutes left to play here in the third period, RPI still a 1-goal lead, and they lead this one 2-1. Marist still on the attack. Puck moved in front for King. King whiffs on the pass, or whiffs on the shot, I should say. But the Red Foxes are able to hold on. That pass opportunity for Patrick Mullen goes awry, and now a 3-on-2 for the Engineers if they hurry down the ice. That's taken behind the net by Hewitt. Now coming on to try to keep it in the zone is Ambery. He's successful, but it's turned over to King, and now Marist will move out of the zone. That is Faulkner, who's doing battle for the puck along the near boards. Now the Engineers moving forward with it. Faulkner, I should say moving backwards with it. Now Faulkner moving up the ice. Takes a shot that's blocked in front by McGuire. Heads over into the corner. And now McGuire with the puck. As Marist looks to break out. They're down by a goal. Intercepted in the neutral zone by Patrick Quarry. He'll try to guide it forward after he hits the ice. Collected by Mandel, who goes behind his own net. Marist lifts it up and out of the zone, but that's going to be icing. And it is, yes. Not a good move by the Red Foxes, who are looking for a line change there. And Mandel nowhere near the red line to say anything about being in the neutral zone when he lifted that puck up. Face-off comes down in the Marist zone, and the Red Foxes unable to change right here. So looks like they're going to be calling a timeout in order to try and give their players a little bit of a rest. That was certainly not the right timing for icing. And Marist wanted to get it down ice, but not in that fashion, shall we say. Just back on their heels a little bit. They don't want to be giving up this defensive opportunity, or this offensive opportunity for the Engineers. So they'll give their players a little bit of a breather. With 12:37 left in the third period, RPI holding a 2-1 lead over the Red Foxes. The goals for the Engineers, both off the stick of Teo Camidella. The first one coming late in the second period gave RPI a 1-0 lead heading into the third. Camidella then gave RPI a 2-0 lead early in the third period off of a nice move around Trevor O'Shea, and then a perfect shot just to the left of Tom Dorsey. Marist got theirs back on a rebound shot from the stick of Patrick Ersling off of a rebound that went off the far boards directly onto his stick, where Spencer Whitehead could not find it. So we stand here 2-1. Engineers win the faceoff in the Marist zone. A shot at the top of the slot by Mike McGivney goes wide, and looked like that went off the stick of the defender in front. That was Brett Kaiser. Now RPI behind the Marist net. A shot quickly, and a one-timer from Sam Mannion goes wide. The puck ends up out of the zone. Teller tried to bring it back in, but it didn't keep control. And a nice hit in open ice there by Sam Mannion keeps Marist from being able to move down into the RPI zone. RPI tries to clear it out. It's kept in at the top of the near boards by Larkin. Now the Engineers again with control, but still can't move it out. That's a shot by Rosado that was blocked in front. Now this is Teller behind the RPI net. Teller drops it over for Mannion. And Mannion pushes it across the ice over to Mike McGivney. Engineers were offsides there, so Marist is pretty much able to go up and collect it. It led to the odd collision behind their own net, but no Engineers anywhere near the puck to grab it, as they were still trying to get offsides at the time, or onside, I should say. Game slowing down just a little bit, which is kind of plays into RPI's favor. Now they're going to say puck was played with a hand pass by the Red Foxes, so we'll see a face-off coming up in their zone. Kind of a whiff there as the Marist player along the far boards was trying to play it, ended up having the stick break and fly up into the air. 11:08 left in the third period, and face off in the Marist zone. Won by the Engineers. That is DeVault, sending it behind the net. Comes back up to the blue line where it's collected by Hewitt. He's challenged right away and can't stay on it. Now a hit behind the net It was a kind of a glancing hit by default there that ended up knocking Trevor Larkin's helmet off. It's a cause for a whistle. Maybe a little more than a glancing blow. The face-off remains within the Marist zone, won by the Engineers. Back to Hewitt. His shot goes wide, and that was Hennick on the doorstep looking for the rebound, but nothing is coming back. Now the battle is along the far boards. That is Hennick along with Olivieri. Tries to nudge it over towards the blue line. They can't. RPI with the puck now. It's an open ice shot taken by Hennick. And Dorsey's all over that one. RPI with all the pressure here the last couple of minutes. They've got the lead and they've got the initiative here with 10:30 left in the third period, holding on to that 2-1 lead. Marist finally wins themselves a face-off in their own zone, but they can't clear it out. At least temporarily, it's held in by Brett Rooney, but he's unable to move it down ice any further. Ends up squirting out of the zone. Now Marist in their own zone. Moving it back out the center. Picked up by Rooney. Rooney will just drop it back down as time continues to tick away. We're at about 10 minutes left here in the third period. The Engineers still with a 1-0 lead. But Marist right now is just trying to find a way to get it out of their own zone. That'll do it right there with a nice pass across. But the ensuing pass by Ersling goes nowhere. Now a shot at the top of the slot by Tyler Ahrens is blocked. Comes down ice. Quick shot just in front of the blue line by Brett Rooney is saved by Dorsey. And that'll cause a whistle on another face-off in the Marist zone with 9:37 left in the third period. Do-over right there on that face-off. Ryan DiTomaso taking for Marist. And he's staring down Sam Mannion for the Engineers. I'm sorry, Connor Blake for RPI. Blake wins the face-off. He's going after it now. Man in front of him was Larkin. He lost an edge, but did not lose the puck. RPI able to keep it in the zone, however, with Tim Faulkner up along the blue line. And just momentarily as Marist now moves it out as they are starting to get a little bit desperate to set some offense up. They've been kind of back on their heels these last several minutes. RPI now again moving into the zone, but Tim Faulkner loses a handle on the puck. A shot from the blue line is blocked in front. And then Connor Blake in front of the net is unable to do anything. Puck ends up back out at center. Marist still can't really join the RPI zone, and the Engineers just send it right back down. When you've got a lead, sometimes that's just enough. Just keep the other team on their heels. Keep as much possession as you can. But if your RPI are also looking for that insurance marker, get themselves that 2-goal lead back here as time gets a little bit tighter here in the third period. Engineers move forward again. That is Kevin Yoon up to the top of the slot. Was trying to get it to Mannion, but he couldn't control it, and Marist will send it down ice. They need a line change, so they'll send it all the way down. Now Marist with a shot from a tight angle. It looks like it was saved by Whitehead. And now Marist trying to get something set up here in the RPI zone as they've been desperately trying to get themselves anything going here in the last several minutes. It's RPI all the way back down ice now. Really just kind of content to just kind of sit back a little bit and waste a little bit of clock. That's certainly a plausible strategy here as we get a little bit later into the game. We're at about 7:25 or so left in regulation. RPI clinging to that 1-goal lead. They're not really pushing the puck with any momentum, but they're really just keeping Marist from building any momentum of their own. Maybe RPI looking to be a little bit more opportunistic here late in the third period. Still trying to get it out of their own net, or out of their own zone. RPI just gumming up the works in the neutral zone, just denying them any opportunity. Now it's a backhanded shot by Luciano Olivieri. It's over the net. RPI still content to just play pitch and catch here. Now an opportunity from behind the net. That's a wraparound by Adam Hennick. As Dorsey keeps that out, but the puck is still alive. And Marist is able to get it out. That is Ersling, the Red Foxes' top scorer. He can't do anything with it, loses the handle, and once again it ends up back down in the Marist end. DeVault lays a hit behind the Marist net, but the Red Foxes still end up with it. Still can't get it out of the neutral zone. It's gloved down there by the Engineers. Now it's picked up by Marist. They're trying to break through and loses his stick. That's Tyler Ahrens trying to get a breakaway there, but lost his stick and ended up losing the handle on the puck. A decent opportunity goes to waste by some good pinching defense by RPI. That is DeVault coming up the near boards, but the Engineers come into the zone offsides with 5:51 left in the third period. They're still nursing that 1-goal lead, and the faceoff comes up right outside of the Marist zone. Look at the wraparound attempt and end up with Dorsey sprawled out, but the Red Foxes were fortunate enough to end up with the puck, giving him enough time to recover. Marist only down by 1 goal, but that deficit can look a lot bigger when you're not having much possession, and that's their biggest problem right now, is holding on to the puck. Right now they're trying to get something set up. They finally got it back down in the RPI zone, and now an opportunity for Marist here as they get control up by the blue line. That's a shot from the near the point by Cam Rosada. Got through everybody, but Spencer Whitehead makes the save. Now with 5:21 left in the third period, we'll see the face-off in the RPI zone, which is exactly what the Red Foxes have been looking for. Finally getting an opportunity to start on offense rather than back on their heels. But it's RPI who wins the face-off, and they'll bring it right back down ice. That is Camadella speeding down ice. He's the one that Marist needs to be looking out for, and he jams it on net, saved by Dorsey. It's kind of batted back down by Camadella before he heads off the ice. RPI just doing everything they can to keep the puck down in the Marist half of the ice. So far, the Red Foxes for the last 5 minutes or so are just unable to maintain any kind of possession. So that 1-goal lead might as well be 10 the way things are going. Shot that's blocked in front off the stick of Tim Faulkner. RPI's just kind of taking some opportunistic shots in that goal. That's what happens when you send the puck down on net. Ended up on the backhand for Patrick Quarry, all alone in the slot when the puck came right back to him. And that's the insurance marker that RPI has kind of been buzzing around looking for. Puck just ended up in the right place at the right time, and Tom Dorsey was unable to move to his left fast enough to grab a hold of that one, as it's just backhanded in by Quarry to give RPI a 3-1 lead. That one might be a backbreaker with under 5 minutes left in the game, and the way Marist has been really not taking very good care of the puck when they've had it here late in the third period. If they're going to get themselves back into this game, these next couple of minutes are going to be very important for Marist. They're starting it off at least on the right foot. They've got possession in their favor. Puck's moved up ahead for Celinato. His initial shot is saved by Whitehead. Ends up bouncing out and into the neutral zone, but Marist still on the puck. This is a pretty stark change from what we've seen from them in the last 5 minutes or so, and that's what they need. They need to be playing with a little more desperation and a lot more puck possession. RPI now back along the far boards, picked up by Richardson. He'll move across the red line, and he'll just throw it down with 3:39 left in the third period. RPI on the 2-goal lead now. They can be very content to just waste as much time as possible and try and get out of here with a victory. Start seeing Marist taking a couple of more high-risk passes as they look to move the puck up ice as quickly as possible. They don't just need one, they need two here with just over 3 minutes left to play in regulation. That is their task, and it's a tall one indeed. the way this third period has played out. Josh Hewitt moving it up ice for RPI. Takes a shot that's blocked off the midsection of Trevor O'Shea. And now it's behind the Marist net. The Red Fox looking to get something set up to get it out of the zone, right back to the Engineers in the neutral zone. And that giveaway now leads to a 2-on-1 for RPI. Shot by Kyle DeVault is saved by Dorsey and goes into the corner. And now Marist looking to move up ice. They have a 3-on-2 developing. That's a shot from a tight angle by Ralph Volpe. Goes off the side of the net. Whitehead was all over that one anyway. Now the Engineers trying to just poke it away, kill some more time here with 2:22 left in the third period. Marist setting up at the blue line. A shot goes off of somebody in front, and that's just backhanded in by, guess who? Patrick Ersling. That's the danger of some of those slower shots. They end up contacting someone in front, redirecting, ended up right on the stick of Ersling, and that was as easy as it could get for the grad student from Saddle River, New Jersey, as he just ends up with it on the back of his stick and very coolly just slams it into the back of the net. That cuts the RPI lead back to 1. It's 3-2 with 2:15 left to play in the third period. So now Marist getting one back, and they've certainly got the initiative now. We're just a little bit over 120 seconds left in this game. We'll see if they can get the tying goal. They haven't had it tied since the score was 0-0 for much of the first two periods. And now it looks like we're going to have a hand pass. Play's blown dead. It looks like the face-off's going to be in the RPI zone with 1:56 left in the third period. We'll keep an eye on Tom Dorsey and see if and when the Red Foxes pull him from the net. Maybe not for maybe another minute or so. Marist now with the initiative, looking to tie the game here late. RPI gets it out of the zone, however, and that's a very errant shot there by Adam Hennick. I don't know if that went off somebody, but it ends up out of play. And I believe regardless of who it went off of, the new rules in college hockey have the face-off coming up still within the Marist zone. It will be Zach White taking the face-off for RPI, and he wins it backwards. Marist is there to pounce on it. They're moving up ice with all due haste. That is Brett Kaiser chasing after the puck now. Goes onto the stick of RPI's Kevin Sheridan in the corner. Now Marist trying to move it in front. Not sure where that puck ended up, and a penalty is coming up. It's going to be on the Engineers. Now that shot comes back to the, or puck comes back to the slot and goes wide. And we've got a boarding call on RPI with 1:10 left in regulation. A golden opportunity for the Red Foxes here that they are going to need to cash in on in the next 70 seconds to tie this game. It is a boarding call, the third penalty of the game against Nick Ambry. And Marist heads back to the power play. They're 0 for 4 in this game. They have looked good on the power play, but it's been well over a period's worth of hockey since we saw them. But this is the crunch time now for both of these squads, and the Engineers are going to call a timeout to make sure their best penalty killers are well rested for what is sure to be a real onslaught here in the last 70 ticks. Now, this is usually one of the ultimate dilemmas in coaching in college hockey, or any hockey really, late in a game when you have a power play. If you're down by a goal, do you pull the goaltender? That's you know, there are some schools of thought that say you already have an advantage, play that, because the reason that you wouldn't is that the penalty killing team is free to take pot shots at the empty net because they don't have icing called against them in this situation while they're killing a penalty. So in a normal situation where with an empty net, a team would have to at least bring it past the red line before they took a shot on the open net. RPI would be free to just whip the puck down ice and try to score it. Dorsey is coming back into the game here with minute 10 left in regulation, but we'll see what Marist does from here. He looks like he's lining all the way back up in his crease, so Marist is just going to go with the regular 5-on-4 for the time being. Face-off is won by Marist, and that's Earthling setting up as the quarterback on the power play. Now Dorsey comes off, so it's a 6-on-4 opportunity now for Marist as they look for the tying goal here in the final minute of play. Shot by Marist is blocked in front, and RPI is able to just get it out of the zone with 48 seconds left in the third period. That net is empty for the Red Foxes. They basically have a two-man advantage out there. They need to get it set up. RPI squirts the puck back out of the zone, and Marist has to get themselves onside again. They are. Now here's O'Shea. He drops it back behind the net for Kaiser. Kaiser around looking for Ahrens. Ahrens takes the shot, and that's in! Marist ties the game with 22.4 seconds left. I didn't see who it was right there on the side, but the original shot by Ahrens was saved by Whitehead and bounced right to the forward, right to the left of Spencer Whitehead. Looks like that might have been Earthling. It wasn't. Earthling was right behind Connor DiTomaso, who is currently the hero for the Marist Red Foxes. They've got themselves a couple of goals in the span of just 3 minutes with 22.4 seconds left in the third period. Marist ties this one up. It's 3-3. When all hope looked lost for Marist, they just dug in, got themselves one back, and then with a crucial power play opportunity, got themselves the tying goal that they needed, and we end regulation tied at 3. It's very difficult to really lay out exactly how far in the hole Marist looked after that goal by Patrick Quarry made it 3-1 in favor of the Engineers. They were playing back on their heels, something fierce, and it took really a fortuitous bounce for the Red Foxes to get the first goal back, and then a really crucial penalty for the Engineers, a boarding call against Nick Ambry with 1:10 left in the third period. That gave Marist the setup they needed. They pulled their goaltender, and they score a 6-on-4 tally with Connor DiTomaso netting the third goal for Marist. So quickly, just a recap of the scoring. Late in the second period, it was Teo Camadella breaking a long 0-0 tie, putting RP up 1-0. That was the score after one period. Camadella scored again early in the third period to make it 2-0 Engineers. The first goal by Marist was scored by Patrick Earthling a little bit later, made it 2-1. And it was 3-1 Engineers off the stick of Patrick Quarry, who scored in front to make it 3-1. And then quickly, within the last 4 minutes of the game, another goal by Earthling made it 3-2 Engineers, and a goal with 22.4 seconds left in the third period on the power play by Connor DiTomaso, has us facing this 5-minute overtime period. So they're at center ice, they're ready to go, and the face-off is won by the Engineers. That is Tanner Richardson, who will send it down ice. The sides have been switched here for the 5-minute overtime period. The Engineers now skating from left to right. That shot by Tyler Ahrens ends up off a stick and goes wide. Now along the near boards is Patrick Mullen. Mullen trying to dig it past Olivieri. And now a shot by O'Shea is saved by Whitehead, but the rebound is scooped up by Kaiser and sent wide. And now it's Marist with all of the initiative here in the overtime period. They have the puck in the RPI zone. Shot by O'Shea goes off the stick of Olivieri and out of play. That's going to set up another face-off in the RPI zone. And it's just about night and day compared to the way Marist was playing late in the third period. They seem to have all of the initiative now. They immediately gain control of the RPI zone, and now a face-off coming up in the RPI zone as it looks like the Engineers are more the ones back on their heels at this point. Tyler Ahrens is in to take the face-off for the Red Foxes. And it's won back by Mike McGivney. That puck ends up all the way down ice. But looks like they're not going to call icing, but it is Marist moving the puck forward again. There is Kaiser with the puck at his feet, doesn't see it, loses control. And now RPI will just send it out, intercepted before it can get too far down ice by Ursling, who has 2 goals tonight for the Red Foxes. This is Aarons across the red line. He's 2-on-2. Can't get the puck around Hewitt. And he swings it back up towards the blue line. This is O'Shea with the shot, saved by Whitehead. Puck is loose, and RPI able to clear it out. O'Shea is going to give chase. All Marist so far here in the overtime period with 3:26 left in the extra frame. That puck's going to go all the way down ice. It would have been icing, but it looks like they're going to call icing after all. And now there's some confusion as to exactly what was going on. The Marist player might have been pretty deep in the zone when the puck entered. I'm not sure if they're calling this. They're calling it icing. So the puck ends up back down ice. That was a fortuitous move for the Engineers as the errant pass ended up going all the way down ice. They'll set up a face-off in the attacking zone for the Engineers with 3:18 left in the third period. I'm sorry, in the overtime period. Hennick ends up falling down on the puck, so it looks like they're going to do it again unless they're calling a penalty. The referee is calling a penalty here on Hennick for falling down on the puck. Yeah, Hennick is heading off to the penalty box. He kind of turned around and ended up falling down on that. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but they might be calling a delay of game penalty on Hennick. Doesn't seem to be the case, as it's 4-on-4, although the Engineers only have 3 players out there. It's 5-on-3 right now. Not sure why RPI's only got 3 players out there. He's only got 1 guy in the box. It's 5-on-3 right now. The Engineers only have 3 players out there. Hennick is the only one that went off, but they're missing a player, unless this is there's another player down there that I can't see. But a shot, that's a goal, and that's the end of the game, just like that. Marist comes back from a 3-1 deficit, scoring a goal 5-on-3 in overtime to win this game 4-3. I know, I'm just as confused as can be. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. Oh, there it is. Nick Ambry was in the penalty box as well. I'm not certain why he was sent off, but it doesn't really matter as Marist converts on their 6th power play opportunity of the game, a 5-on-3 in overtime to take this one 4-3. A big comeback by the Red Foxes. It's Connor DiTomaso's 2nd goal of the game, his 2nd power play goal, completing the comeback for Marist and keeping the Red Foxes undefeated on the season at 3-0. A heartbreaking loss for the Engineers. They had it looking pretty good late in the third period. They kept Marist back on their heels, but penalties killed the Engineers in this game, as inopportune penalties at the wrong time late in regulation, and 2 penalties back-to-back, or I should say at the same time, off of a face-off, end up giving Marist a 5-on-3 advantage that they cash in, and they take this game 4-3. Well, before we sign off here from Houston Fieldhouse, quickly, the Engineers' offensive and defensive players of the game. Really, you can't fault on defense Spencer Whitehead, who had a tremendous game. He had a shutout going well into the third period, but ultimately was let down by some of his teammates who took some bad penalties at the wrong time, was hung out to dry, especially on the last 2 goals that were given up. Offensive player of the game for the Engineers, really the spark that RPI needed to get themselves in a position where they were really controlling this game. Teo Camadella scored the first goal of the game late in the second period to give RPI a 1-0 lead, and then scored the second goal for the Engineers as well to make it 2-0 early in the third period. He really set RPI up for a victory, but unfortunately it was not to be here at Houston Fieldhouse as the Engineers fall to 1-2 on this young season. Well, we'd like to thank you for watching RPI TV's broadcast coverage of ACHA Northeast Hockey action here from Houston Fieldhouse. I'd like to remind you that RPI TV is brought to you by the generosity of the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for RPI TV and all of the club-related activities of the Institute, including RPI TV's coverage of RPI sports. Just a reminder, RPI TV is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.rpitv.org, and you can check out broadcasts and check out live broadcasts and also some taped broadcasts as well. So my name is Tom Reel, signing off here from Houston Fieldhouse. Your final score in overtime is Marist 4 and RPI 3.